The night air in Cologne crackled with electricity long before Kendrick Lamar stepped onto the stage. Fans had begun gathering in the historic Rhine metropolis hours earlier, spilling out of trams and taxis, their breaths visible in the cool spring air as they hummed Kendrick's lyrics under their breath. Antwerp, Paris, London. Europe had already witnessed the grand national tour's devastation of arenas and stadiums alike, but here on the banks of the Rhine, it felt as if the city itself had paused to listen. Ancient cathedral spires loomed overhead, modern floodlights crisscrossed the sky, and every eye was fixed on the hulking silhouette behind the curtains. Welcome to celebrity rap life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary. Because in celebrity rap life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. Just before 9, the house lights dropped. A hush briefly fell, broken only by the distant echo of "TV off" thumping through the speakers, an invitation disguised as a command. Then the track crashed into the arena like a tidal wave. The crowd roared in approval. "Put the TV off," they chanted in unison, their voices echoing off steel and stone. It was the perfect choice to inaugurate the European leg of a tour that began in North America months ago. TV off is both manifesto and celebration, a refusal to be distracted, a demand for presence. Here in Cologne, it served as a rallying cry. Kendrick emerged in a simple white tee and black cargo pants, his silhouette framed by a curtain of fog and lasers. The first beat hit, and he strode forward, mic in hand, scanning the crowd like a general surveying his troops. He didn't need grand gestures. Every step he took, every breath he drew, felt measured and meaningful. As the hook repeated, the crowd rose and fell like one living organism, their arms raised in solidarity. When Kendrick reached the first verse, the energy became kinetic. Fists pumped, phones raised, and shouts drowned out every subwoofer in the building. By the time he transitioned into humble, rain machines, staged above the upper decks, released a gentle downpour that transformed the stage floor into a shimmering mirror. The choreography felt organic. Kendrick ducked beneath the spray at times, letting droplets run down his face, his hoodie soaked through, as if the rain itself were an extension of his raw intensity. The crowd went wild when he landed the now legendary line, "Sit down, be humble," each syllable punctuated by a flash of pyro. Some fans danced under the artificial rain, others sang every word in perfect sync. The moment was iconic, a watershed wash of sound, light, and water that felt both primal and cinematic. After the storm, the stage fell into darkness. A single spotlight picked out Kendrick at center stage, silhouetted against a massive video screen playing flickering black and white footage of Compton, his hometown, overlaid with map coordinates and dates. Without pause, the beat kicked in for the Mad City/Sweet Love mashup. The seamless blend of ferocious verses and tender chorus demonstrated why Kendrick's catalog is a masterclass in contrast. The first notes of Mad City hit like a freight train, riffing on survival amid chaos, only to soften unexpectedly into the melodic warmth of Sweet Love. The crowd howled in recognition, a collective gasp giving way to rapturous applause. In that moment, no one cared that they were thousands of miles from South-Central LA. They felt every line in their bones. Between songs, Kendrick paused to speak directly to the fans. He wiped sweat from his brow, his voice calm and measured. "Cologne," he began, "you came out tonight. Y'all traveled from all over. This city's got history, art, architecture, culture. But I see you for who you are, warriors of the moment, guardians of the vibe." The audience erupted. He continued, "Let your core audience stomach that," pointing to a cluster of diehards in the pit. "Then tell 'em where you got your abs from." Laughter rippled through the crowd, raw and affectionate. "Yeah, I see you," he said, gesturing to a couple near the front lockers. "You built this moment." It felt less like shtick and more like communion. He leaned into the mic, eyes bright under the stage lights. "It's different now," he declared, hinting at the ever-evolving nature of his music and performance. That declaration segued into DNA, another track whose production pounds like a heartbeat. The arena shook as the opening lines, I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA," pulsed through the sound system. Kendrick's delivery was surgical, rapid-fire flows slicing through the heavy kick drums. Fans mosh-pitted, motioned in slow circles, and jumped in unison. For a brief stretch, Cologne wasn't just a city, It was a living organism fueled by a shared rhythm. Moments later, the show hit its peak with an "I'm Him" segment. Dimmed lights and reverbed vocals set the mood. When the beat dropped, Kendrick's posture shifted, arms spread like wings, head tilted back. He locked eyes with half the audience at once, radiating an unshakable confidence. "I'm him," he snarled, every syllable a declaration of presence. The arena roared its assent. Even those unfamiliar with the newest tracks found themselves caught in the tide, chanting back the phrase with pure, unfiltered joy. After that triumphant bombast, Kendrick dialed it back for a slower moment, a cover of "Complexion, a Zulu Love," delivered a cappella. The video screen faded to images of diverse faces, old, young, black, brown, white, forming a montage of humanity. Kendrick's voice floated above the silent stage in intricate melodic turns, carrying the weight of unity and pride. The crowd hushed, you could hear a pin drop. By the final refrain, some fans were wiping tears. In this one extended pause between tracks, the show revealed its emotional core. It wasn't a spectacle, it was a gathering of souls. Reinvigorated, the set list surged back into high gear. The Heart Part 5 arrived like a thunderclap, bold, unfiltered commentary stitched into a booming beat. Visuals behind Kendrick showed animated news clippings, protest footage, and blocks of text posing questions about society. As he tore through the opening bars, "I'm screaming it from my lungs / can't nobody hold me back," the crowd matched his ferocity with every ounce of breath in their lungs. It felt like a revolution in real time. For the final stretch, Kendrick didn't pull any punches. King Kunta forced every body in the arena into a collective dance, strobing lights cutting through the haze. The chorus, "I got a bone to pick," turned into a call and response, the audience's voices louder than the speakers. Smoke jets fired off around the stage, enveloping Kendrick in swirling mist. It was a triumphant spectacle, but never losing sight of the song's deeper narrative about power and oppression. When the final encore began, a stripped-down rendition of "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst," the arena lights rose slightly, revealing thousands of faces lit by phone screens and stage glow. The soft guitar loop and muted percussion created an intimate cocoon. Kendrick's lyrics, once so sharp and urgent, floated delicately over the audience. "Promise that you'll sing about me / promise that you'll say my name." The plea hung in the air, resonating like a prayer. Fans clutched each other's hands, heads bowed, voices hushed. It was the kind of moment that defies description, a shared vulnerability that transcended language and geography. Finally, the show concluded with a triumphant hail. Kendrick held his arms aloft, the entire stage exploding in fireworks and confetti. The roar from the audience was deafening, a blend of relief, exhilaration, and gratitude. He bowed deeply, mouthing "Danke," the German word for thank you, to the packed house. Backstage, he would later reflect that evening on how it felt to break new ground on foreign soil, to see his art embraced across borders. As the crowd filtered out into the night, voices hoarse, feet aching, hearts full, the streets of Cologne buzzed with stories of the performance. Taxi drivers found their passengers singing "Humble" down the block. Restaurant kitchens closed to the echo of "King Kunta," still thrumming in the air. Even at the Rhine's edge, tourists paused mid-selfie, swaying to the beat that lingered in the city's veins. In the days to come, critics would praise the tour's production values, the seamless setlist transitions, the lightning-fast visuals. But fans knew the truth. This was more than a concert. It was an act of cultural diplomacy, an affirmation that art can unite us even when we speak different tongues. It was proof that a single voice, a voice born in Compton, could become a universal one. And for Kendrick Lamar, the night in Cologne wasn't just another date on the grand national tour. It was a declaration, a covenant forged in sweat and song, that wherever you are, whoever you are, if you show up ready to listen, he will bring you the full force of his vision, and you will never forget what it feels like to have every lyric spoken into your soul. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.